pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As you can see, we're trying something new tonight. We finally got our TV up. We're trying to project the information as we're going through. We're going to try to have it on board. Is it?
Just a little bit.
Well, she's the controller, or is the TV?
The TV's a little crooked, but it's okay. Just a little bit.
When's it gonna do that?
Maybe it's you. Maybe you get your head tipped. Tip it the other way. All right. Welcome everyone here tonight. So the minutes. We need a motion to accept the minutes.
I have correction
Yeah.
for the minutes. I probably will make a motion. During the month of bill pay last month, I brought up concerns about checks being written the prior month to Homer Iron Works. I noticed they didn't make these minutes. I know legally we don't have to put them in, but I think it's material enough that I'd like it put in with correction.
Okay.
May I get that? Thank you. I'll make a motion with corrections.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion on the board minutes? Okay, those in favor of accepting, say aye.
With corrections, aye.
With the corrections. Opposed? Carried. General bills. Who did the general bills?
I covered the general bills for the last month, and let's see. The vouchers number 247 through 281, totaling $27,612.54. And I make a motion that we receive and file and pay those bills.
Second on that? Is there a second? Any discussion on the general bills? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Highway bills.
Highway was audited, abstracts number 8, 247 to 281, totaling $27,612.54. More than half of that was Supco blacktopping. I'll make a motion that we pay.
Wait, what was
Did I
the
get the
numbers?
wrong one?
Next one, now.
No, okay, I'm sorry, my apologies. Subtract that, add abstract number 8, vouchers 93 to 105 for 66,317.96. Half of which was Supco at about 34,000.
Okay.
Make a motion.
Who's seconding it?
I'll second.
You're seconding it, Brandy? Any discussion on that? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, we got the escrow.
Yep, we have, professional services in the amount of $500 to the, for the EAS project to Harder, Seacrest, and Emery. So I make a motion we, receive, file, pay vouchers number 7, for professional services in the amount of $500.
I'll make a second.
Second. Any discussion on that? So I want everybody to understand, we pay this up front, but it's in an escrow account, so we get reimbursed for it. So it costs us up front, but then we get reimbursed, so it actually ends up not costing the town anything. So those in favor, say aye. Opposed? Carried. Okay, the monthly reports. So I need a motion to receive and file.
I'll make a motion to receive and file the chief clerk, code, dog, highway for both the month supervisors month, June and July, to receive and file the reports.
Second?
Comment,
Yes.
question?
Yes.
I got a packet this afternoon. Has that supervisor's report been changed from the one that was earlier?
No.
Okay.
I think they update, just set,
One was June, one was July.
one's June and one's July. There was 2 in there, because I didn't have it ready last month.
Okay, I didn't get a chance to review it, but okay, are we accepting both June and July? Okay, thank you.
Now, one question that Brandon asked me on the supervisor's report, because what skews the supervisor's report is the capital project. He was wondering where we come up with $989,000. And it was a very good question. But like I said before, that was money that we had set aside over the years for doing the specific project. So we just moved it out of our reserves to pay it. It does skew the supervisor's report because it isn't part of the normal budget. So that's where that number comes from, if you're looking on the supervisor's report. Any other questions or comment on that? Okay, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. So I had what did I put? Okay. So I just wanted to give you, so as of the general fund, I'm going to do a little more overview on the supervisor's report. As of July 31st, 2026, the town remains in a sound financial position. The general fund townwide report shows approximately $1.36 million in total expenditures. However, approximately $991,479 of that amount is a transfer to the capital project. So that's the amount we spent from January to today, to end of July, doing the remodeling down here, okay? So after removing that capital transfer from the general townwide operating expenditure, approximately $369,699 against an annual general fund budget of approximately $800,000. So this means the town we have used 46% of our general fund budget for normal operations in 58% of the years past. So we were running very well. The highway funds also remain in a reasonable position. Highway townwide has spent approximately $126,189 of its $548,000 budget, or 23%. But Kyle's made a big dent in that in the last month because it wouldn't be on my supervisor's report because it's always a month behind, okay? So he's caught up with a lot of roads. So it's gonna go up where it should be. Financial health, we get an A rating, it's financially sound, and the town board remains financially sound through July 31st. Normal general fund operating expenditures are running below the percentage of the year that has ellipsed, and our major highway funds remain well within their overall appropriations. We will continue to monitor individual accounts and revenues through the end of the year. So we are running and tracking well. So we hopefully will be below or on target by the end of the year. So that's where we're at. Any questions on that? Okay, privilege of the floor. Reed, I see you're here. Welcome.
I am, and it's good to be here. Speaking of privilege of the floor, I sent to you my memo per usual, and in that memo you'll find my recent legislative work working on a new privilege of the floor policy for the county legislature. Currently, our privilege of the floor policy is such that members of the public can come and comment on agenda items only. They aren't able to comment on whatever topic is of concern to them. I think we should be allowing that, encouraging that in the county legislature. The town of Breville just recently passed a new policy that I think we should follow suit on, and so that's something I'm working on drafting for consideration by the county. Beyond that, this week, Health and Human Services Committee is going to be awarding RFPs to the awardees of the Jewel settlement, which was $180 million settlement several years ago, and goes to projects that are dedicated to raising awareness of the consequences of youth vaping and recreational drug use. So we'll be awarding those RFPs this week. Ag Committee will be re-opting into the pilot program, allowing considering a local law to opt back into environmental DEC law, allowing 12 and 13-year-olds to hunt with crossbow and firearm, which I'll be happily supporting. And I looked at the DEC website just to see what the stats are about this pilot program, and of the 5 years it's been in operation, there have been 0 incidents with licenses, 0 injuries reported with this pilot program, so I think it's working well to encourage firearms safety and skills for young hunters, so I'll be supporting that. On Thursday, since I was here last, all of you know the county office building experienced a flood back in mid-July, so we were fortunate to have highway and buildings and grounds crew who responded very well, very quickly. Fortunate to have a good insurance company as well, who was very quick for the county to be able to deal with them and work out the damages. There are still 2 departments that are still partially out of the county office building. I think it's aging and part of finance, so they'll be moving back in here fairly soon. Been able to use the summer to get out and meet with a lot of constituents, and by and large, all the feedback I'm hearing is they're very pleased with the direction of the town and the village. They look, I said this at the village board meeting last night, very pleased in the reconstruction of the capital project. They're very pleased in seeing everything that's going on downtown, so a lot of good feelings out there about the direction the village is going. So that's what I got for you.
Reed, you said you sent that email. I don't recall seeing it. Anybody else see it? I didn't.
It was later this afternoon.
Okay, the last time I checked, it was.
You did? Okay, I'll have to look for it, because I usually look forward to reading it, so,
It's
okay.
later this
All right.
afternoon.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, thank you. Mayor,
Good evening, everybody. Try not to yell there. Couple things. One, roundabouts are out. Left turn lane is now the focus for state DOT. So if you'd like to attend, the next shareholders meeting is going to be the 19th at 10 o'clock.
Of this month or
Of
next?
this month.
Of this month, okay.
And if not, you have a farming representative would be there. That'd
We'll be
appreciated.
there. We will be there.
Magic on Main will be not this Friday, but Friday next. So the Main Street will be closed down. And I see that you have comprehensive plan on your agenda for later tonight, and we will be tabling, the village trustees will be running a table at the Magic on Main to discuss and get feedback from residents and of both the village and town of Homer on the village's comprehensive plan. So that'll be an opportunity for anybody that's interested. And then I dropped off, I know you guys have to do your budget earlier. So we dropped off the draft recreation contract for your board to review during the budget process.
I did receive that, thank you, but I didn't have time to put it out. I'll get a
No,
copy
no,
to the
no,
board
that's what-
members, yeah.
We're early, so. and
No, that's
what
good,
we
because
wanna be.
we have to start our budget here right along.
Yeah, did you say it was Wednesday at 10 o'clock?
The 19th.
At 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So Pat, go ahead and stand up for a minute. I just want to say, with Brockway this week and every show that we've had this summer, we're so blessed the way you run the village and our trustees that run the village. I mean, we're fortunate. We've got a beautiful village. I think we got a beautiful town. I travel all over the state, and it's always coming home. We got to rank right up there with the top of them all. Thank you for your guys' hard work to keep our village and everything looking
It's a
nice.
collaboration with everybody
Yeah.
here. So thank you, and thank you all for the great collaboration.
We do appreciate it.
Hardly agree,
What's that?
hardly agree.
Yeah, we got a beautiful village. We do.
What was the, did you find out what the reasoning was for the roundabouts?
So the more information on that, I mentioned it last night. I actually read the email that they sent, but the one, it would be detrimental to the businesses, have significant adverse effect to the businesses at both of the intersections. Two, they agreed with the farming agricultural input that although roundabouts overall are safer, but they would not be appropriate for this location. So, and the fact that the amount of land that they would have to acquire and do other things, and that's just off the top of my head. But it wasn't just one thing, it was multiple issues that they went back and they looked at, and they still say roundabouts are safer, but they don't work in all circumstances. And this was one of those circumstances where, given everything that we brought up, it wouldn't be the correct decision to make. So we're grateful that they listened. As we know, sometimes governments don't listen. And this was a great collaboration between the village, the town, the business owners, the residents, and the state DOT really came together. So I'm excited to see. We're gonna do a stakeholder meeting on the 19th of August, and then they'll do a public hearing sometime in October. And as soon as we know when that public hearing is in October, we'll make sure we get that information out, and I am sure we will need a large venue, so we'll get that out.
Great. I know our ZBA board, a lot of them are farmers, they got involved, the Farm Bureau
Farm
came
Bureau
in.
got involved, County Ag got
Yeah,
involved.
so it was just a great
County
coming together, yeah.
So this wasn't, I tracked some of the feedback, and this wasn't just, we don't like roundabouts. This was concise and a lot of background information that supported the decision why the pivot in direction.
Yeah, great. Good news, thank you. So we can cross that one off our agenda, that's good. Anybody else for, yes?
If, please, thank you. Mr. Leach. This end. I've got a point of information I'd like to discuss, having to do with snow removal at the end of Limerick Lane. I live at the end of Limerick Lane.
Okay, can I stop you for 1 second?
Sure.
Can you state your name and stuff so we got a record of
Yes,
it?
sir. Steve Cinquanti. I live on 953 Limerick Lane in the town of Homer.
Perfect, thank you.
Yes, sir. So if you follow through with me, Limerick Lane, you can see the end of the road, and I'm sure if you talk to the operator, I think his name is Charlie Ford, putting snow at the end of the road, it's no easy task. Page 2, you'll see where for years the plow would use our driveway to back in to get a good run at the end of the street. And I understand that's been an agreement for quite some time, and it continued actually last winter when I owned the property. I don't remember anybody saying anything. It didn't bother me, but nonetheless. So page 3 shows you at the 75-foot mark where the tire tracks of the salt truck. The salt truck they were using was a 20-ton 10-wheel dump with a load and a plow. And this is what it did to the driveway. So if you look at page 4, Dean did stop out and suggest that the first 15 feet could be remedied, but really that's only about 25% of the damage, as you can see. Now, I'll also add that the end of Limerick Lane is pretty rough. There's potholes here and there that probably should be filled at some point. Not as brush, but there's 2 right there at the end of the driveway of this town property. So page 5, you'll see the 15-foot line, and that probably is not under protection. Page 6 shows you from 15 feet to 75 feet, and page 7 shows you a little better look at the driveway in that area. Page 8, I'm showing you the normal wear and tear of the driveway where the truck wasn't, and it's a normal driveway. The residential driveway. Page 9 is going to show you the square footage of the entire driveway. And then page 10 shows you the percentage that I feel was damaged by the plow truck. So I got a quote from Logan Williams for $19,000 to resurface the entire driveway, but we'll continue to page 12 where I'm not suggesting that the town should replace my driveway, just the portion that has been damaged, which is 63% of the 19,000. So I guess I'd like to propose this for consideration and see if the town has any interest in the detail.
Okay, thank you.
I got.
Okay. Anyone else on the privilege of the floor?
Are we allowed to discuss after these guys, or can we discuss in the future?
I think we need to discuss it in the future, Ken. We'll put it on the agenda.
Okay. Because I do have additional information to add. So
Well,
I do
you
want-
tell me, are we legal to discuss that now, or
You can, but you might want to take some time to digest all of this.
are you okay if we
I'm
wait,
I'm
Kevin?
happy to wait. I just, I have ancillary information and
Okay.
background, so.
Okay.
we need to do
So we'll-
some
we'll-
of this.
Even if we have to have a special meeting, if you think.
Okay, all right.
We will do.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Okay, so this is a privilege of the floor, so it's very hard to, we got our regular agenda. If we had known ahead of time, we might have got it. Larry?
No, I'm just here to have a lively discussion with you later on local law number 2.
Yeah, and we're expecting that, Larry. I don't know.
And just as a point of clarification, can you help me understand kind of how you generally pull together committees on the town? Do you try to keep it only board members, or do you try to expand that to community people that have an interest in a particular topic? I'm just looking for general guidance.
I'll be honest with you on this one here. I asked a couple of board members to take a look at it and kind of review it and see if we should do something with it. I didn't put it out to the general public, but you've been very active on it, and so we will allow, when we get to that, to have some back and forth. This is everything that we're doing tonight with, there's 3 of them, is information only. There's no vote on these. It's information only. A lot of this is, the full board hasn't seen everything, only the last few days. They need time to study it. And so there'll be some back and forth on a lot of this, okay? Anyone else? Okay. Kyle?
Start with our facility, we clean and organize and inspect it on a daily, weekly basis. Everything to do with the facility is good, up to standard, close to our standard. Our standard, we put the new furnace in, that's up and going. Everything's good with that. The grounds, we clean and organize and that. The both, it's an ongoing thing every week. Sign work, replacing signs here and there when we can. We got some tree work from storm damage. When we get these storms come through, that can set us back a couple days, do the washouts and stuff, so. And these don't happen, usually on the weekends when we're, so we're 24/7, we're available to take care of some of this stuff. Roadside mowing, we've been doing some paving. We did 2 miles of pavement and wall since last time we talked. We have a hot box which does potholes. If we haven't got to your road yet, we are getting there. We've got a lot to catch up on. I encourage everybody to check in down at the highway department so it doesn't go in the hole like it did in the past 20 years. Give us just a little bit of accountability down there. So, but Mike stops down all the time, and we did some grader patching and stuff. We know there's a lot of roads that need attention to. We'll get there. We assist other towns with their work. They help us with ours, mainly trucking. We're doing our weed whacking around our guardrails and signs this year, which we haven't done in the past. We worked at the town hall. We put all the chairs and tables, hung the TV up crooked.
Put the blinds up.
Put the blinds up. Shoulder work here and there. We had a CHIPS meeting. We have, there's rules and regulations that come to the CHIPS money. It's not just cut and dry, but we had a very good meeting with a representative came down and thanks for everybody that attended that. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of clarification that came with it. We set our speed indicator gizmo.
Speed sign.
We're calling that thing.
Speed sign.
Speed sign. It's an electronic
Kyle's our first casualty too.
I call her first speeder too.
Was you?
We got his name. Got me.
Pound a homer inside the truck too.
Just to clarify, it was a test run, it was 2 miles an hour, 2 miles an hour over the speed limit. And, great job, that
Is this
was,
set up by you?
I think that's gonna be, very well built, thanks Mike for, we will have a report on that, traffic report. It files all the data report, next month.
It's set up on Sweeney Road right now. That was the first road that we,
Look at it,
and then it'll go to Creech Road. Or not Creech Road, Creel. And then the village wanted to use it on 41.
Appreciate all the help and support. There's a lot of conversations we have with Mike every day, the board members, and thank you, Brooke and Lindsay, for helping doing the big work and everything. Really have a lot of help and support. This traffic sign has been an issue for a long time. I talked to a couple residents up there today, and they're thankful. So it's been addressed, and thank you. Appreciate all the help and support. Doors open all the time, so.
Just so you know, if you're out driving around, our traffic sign is bright, safety yellow.
Yeah.
So when you're driving, you can see it.
It's properly secured, we locked it up, put some cones around it. Yeah.
So we're good to go, okay. All right, so the next on that is highway new hire. We don't have, Kyle doesn't have anybody to bring forward, but we just wanted to keep it in front of the board that he is looking to add another hiree for helping out. You wanna explain it, Kyle, for the winter and a full-time person to get us back up to?
Since January 1st, 25, doing both kind of, running the highway garage and doing an enlightenment and an operator, which is fine, and that's what I needed to do to make sure that stuff was getting done properly. We're still working on that, but yeah, we're looking to, we're down a guy anyway, so just to help out, expand our services. We want to make all the roads great.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll need a guy for the winter anyway.
Which class license is that?
D is required for hire with the knowledge that you will need a B or an A. We're working on a policy for that. Unemployment's $900 a week now, or will be. Mike Brown's taken. We talked about how to find these guys with CDL is tough. People aren't knocking the door down, so they either don't want to work with me or.
Well, there's not,
It's not.
it's like the county's down 16 or 7 drivers and workers, the state DOT is down 6 or 7, so it is,
A lot of going background.
yeah, a lot of, there's just a big demand for truck drivers out there, so it's gonna be critical. Clerks,
We don't really have much to update except for Lindsay did a lot of research on credit cards for the office. So that's one thing that Lindsay will give an update on, and other than that, Karen Snyder's been here helping once a week. Oh, we do have this as well, yes. We did this last month, but we had a few more that I had to put together. For the elected and appointed officials, for the standard workday.
it's your
reporting
retirement
resolution.
package, so if you guys are looking for it.
So there's 2 sheets there. There's the
Number
RS
11, Kevin.
2417A and the RS 2418. So those two, we just have to approve the standard workday for those elected and appointed officials.
Okay, so everybody has that in front of them, so I just need a motion to accept the standard workday as printed on these. This goes towards the retirement, so it's based on, for the retirement.
I'll make a motion that we accept the standard workday and reporting resolution for the elected and appointed officials. I don't have any distinguishing for the town justice, council member, assessor, code enforcement officer, and dog control officer.
And then on the second page, Kevin, there's,
And deputy assessor, deputy code enforcement officer. Okay.
but I want everybody to notice they never submitted any paperwork. Caitlin Brown does not work here anymore, and Adam Brown never submitted paperwork. So, and that was his choice. I mean, that's their choice. They signed up for it, but if they don't submit paperwork, you can't get it. So they have to do this. We have to do this. So we have a motion. I need a second. Any other discussion on that? Those in favor say aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna move on to the credit card terminal. I know we've said in the past that we were all for it, so I asked the clerks to really get it narrowed right down. So Lindsay, you did the homework on it for us?
Yes, I spoke with, Brooke and I spoke with a representative when we went to the NISTICA conference. That was with Catalyst. That seemed a lot more in-depth than what we needed. They had a very government-focused platform. It was, if we needed a lot more from a terminal, then that would be a great fit. The Clover Flex and the Square terminal were pretty similar, besides that Clover had a contract that you needed to have along with the terminal cost. Square terminal kind of came out as the winner because it was $300 to buy the terminal. There was no contract needed, and you can print out daily, weekly, and monthly reports. It's just the most basic option that they had. We don't need it for anything huge, just licenses, marriage reports, things like that, building permits, just to make it easier for residents to be able to pay for things.
Will people be able to pay their taxes on?
No.
No, okay.
So we're keeping taxes separate.
Separate, okay. This is just for fees.
Just for fees and, yeah, clerk duties.
We are researching, so we currently have Municipay that people can go online and pay, but
For taxes?
Yes, for taxes, so with a fee. But we're looking at either putting a computer there so they can access the website, or we don't know if Municipay can bring us a separate reader, but we thought it would be advantageous to keep them both separate, just to keep the accounts separate and everything. So we thought we'd start here, and we're still researching Municipay.
So this will not cost the town anything. Of course, whoever uses it is gonna pay a percentage, and this is a very low percentage of what they charge. There's different rates for different companies. The other part of this, we will set up a separate account that this money will be deposited into. So it's not gonna go in the general fund. So money will get deposited into a separate account. And then once the transaction is complete, then it can be moved into the general fund or wherever it needs to go. I know our code office has been asking for years, because everybody coming down getting building permits and ZVA permits or whatever. It adds up to a substantial amount of money sometimes if they get 5, 6, 10 different things going on, and it's just so much easier. I mean, cards are what it is today. So I appreciate you guys researching this for us. Yes, Kevin.
Linda, did you prepare this?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, it made it very clear on what we need to do. I just have 2 questions that come to mind. As town services are paid through this, are we legally required to collect the 2.6% on top of it? Or are we allowed to just run the marriage licenses through and the dog licenses through, and then the town eats the 2.6%?
No, so the residents pay the 2.6%, and that goes towards the
Right, and then how does that work? Have you figured that out? I mean, is it a separate transaction? Or is it just add on, like the court?
They add it on.
The court just adds it on. Okay, so we have that capacity to do that.
Yeah, the program, I believe the program itself,
Separate up to
you know, if
just-
you have a marriage, it's $10 for a copy, it'll add on that 2.6% before they press pay.
And then I think it's 15, what was
15
it?
cents.
15 cents per transaction.
So easy for bookkeeping, customer knows what's going on.
And by law, we have to have it posted that if they use the credit card machine,
Yeah.
it is an automatic add-on. We can't, it has to be posted. So that will happen, yes.
Are we buying that tonight, or are we?
I would like to have the motion to approve this, yes.
I'd be happy to do that. Motion to approve the Square Terminal purchase for $299. And set it up.
Second on that? Second. Any other discussion? Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. It's been a long time coming. We've been trying to get through this for quite a while. Thank you. Yep.
Good job.
Good job.
Okay, website, so that's number 13, when you're looking at your website. Brooke, you wanna talk about it, or you wanna?
Sure. Frank Davy, our website, he's the one that actually did our website. He put together, actually today for us, this is something we've been talking to him for a while, and I think I don't remember when we brought this to the board, but this is something the state's requiring, I wanna say in 2028. But we wanted to try to get a jump start on it, just so we are compliant, but this is for, I don't know how it's like the hearing impaired, they want, like if you have a picture on your website, or if you're blind, they want everybody to be able to access the website and to be able to hear, and so these are all the compliances in the packet that Frank prepared for everybody, and I believe we've handed this one out before as well, but we just figured we'd hand it out again with Frank's proposal that he put together, and he's basically saying it's between $1,500 and $2,000 just to begin all the work. He's hoping to remain in that, but he said because he's still researching all the laws, he's not entirely sure if it's going to be a little more or a little bit less, but he said this is at least a good base start to get us compliant. So other than that, he said he's just going to really do a lot of research and look at our website and try to make it as easy as possible.
So this is something that we have to get phased in by 2028, so I feel we should get started on it. It's gonna make the website more friendly. And if you guys wanna check out a website, Cortlandville just went live with with this compliance, I believe. I've read that. Is the county set up that way? Not yet. I did talk to Frank Davy too, and told him we need a budget number, because at first he was saying it was gonna take X number of hours. I said, well, that's fine, but we need a number to approve. So whatever, if we pick 1,500 or 2,000, I did explain to him we can't exceed that, and then we'd have to go back to the board for more approval. But he was very confident that he could get us up and running at that when I talked to him. And then in the future, every month, it might be another $50 or $100 if he's gotta make changes or something. But sooner or later, either we do it now, or we're gonna be at the crunch time and we're gonna be mandated to do it, so. Questions, motion, whatever you want, yes.
Is this just to make the pictures usable and everything like that, or are we gonna kind of migrate the website into a newer, as we move forward with everything that we want to do? Is there an overlap that happens, or is it strictly just click picture here?
The way I don't understand all of it. Frank's done a lot of the research, but the way I understand it, a picture's like an example. If you hold your cursor over it, maybe it says it's a picture of, so it's audibly saying it. So if somebody couldn't see the picture, they could hear it. So that's the kind of things I think Frank wants to change to get us to the compliance.
That would be this price.
Yes, those changes, whatever the state is requiring, that's what Frank is researching to make sure we're where we're supposed to be.
Like, this isn't your line of expertise. Are we explaining this right, going to this direction?
Yeah, I'm actually, we run into sort of a little bit, it's called, like, operations called alt text. That's the answer, and then, that's another example, I know you guys want a meeting now, so if you post a video, it's gonna have to be captioned. So, YouTube will do it automatically.
Okay. Thank you. Any other thoughts on that? Anybody wanna make a motion?
I'll be happy to make the motion to begin that, but do we have a budget? Are we working on the website as well, moving more towards what you guys had originally intended on?
Right now, Lindsay and I can update the website, so we can do documents, we can make changes, we haven't quite moved things around, but Lindsay's done a lot of that. But yes, we have full access to upload, when in the past we haven't.
Our budget, our website is to the point where we want it to get it kept, so that
Yes.
they can manipulate it, we don't have to go out.
Because I know that was our goal.
And it is there, it is there. And this is just gonna enhance it, I believe, again, it's not my expertise.
Well, newer ideas will come forward and then we, back forward everything else. I'll make the recommendation, motion that we authorize up to $2,000 professional services for website compliance remediation with the CNY Webs company.
You second?
Second,
Sarah, any other discussion?
I have a question.
Yes.
Do we have to bid this out?
No, it's professional service. He's already developed our website.
It would be hard to have somebody else touch it.
Yeah, absolutely. Procurement policy says professional, and this is one of them that meets the requirement. Any other discussion? Okay, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Pat, is the Villages site, have you got this yet?
No, we have one of our trustees that's looking into the, next steps that we're going to take.
Okay, so we're on the same trajectory, yeah. Okay, so then, next one, and that's something I guess I forgot to give to you to put in here. So Ryan Du Bois was on our ZBA board. And he hadn't made a meeting in over a year, so I called him up and talked to him. And he is so busy, and we talked, and he said he would rather step down, and he's got his house for sale, so I don't even know if he's moving out of the area. So he did send the clerks a resignation letter. He said, well, I'll give you my resignation. I said, no, you need to send it to the clerks. That's the official way of doing it, which he did. So he resigned as of a month ago. So we need to accept Ryan Du Bois's resignation. I can go get the letter if you want to see it. I forgot to include it. So we need to accept that resignation. So I need a motion for that one.
Make a motion to accept Ryan Du Bois' resignation from the ZBA.
Yes, second. Any other discussion?
Is it Du Bois or Du Bois?
Du Bois, I believe it is. D-U-B.
Just our neighbor has spelled the exact same last name.
Okay.
I don't maybe they're related or not, but I think it's Du Bois.
Okay, any other discussion on that one? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
All right, now I got ZBA new member. I don't have anybody. I just wanted to keep it on there. If somebody, we need to, we're gonna need two new members by the end of the year.
So we have 5 right now.
Well, we have 6.
6 with the alternate, right?
Well, we have 6 active members.
Okay.
The alternate makes 7.
That's right, you just
Ryan,
appointed
we
a
just
member.
appointed 1. We got 1 terming, yeah. His term will be up, and we just lost him. So if names come up, we'd like to talk to him. Kevin helped me interview the last one, and that went very well. I'd like to do something of the same process. So if you have a name or anybody out there who's interested in being part of our ZBA board, We have information we can give you, what it entails and stuff, so just wanna keep that in front of everybody. Okay, now we've got a couple of, we got delinquent grass ordinance. Number 15, okay, now 16. Number 16, so that's in front of you, and again, this is discussion. This is something that Kevin, our code enforcement, asked us to take a look at. I think the village is doing the same thing, did you?
We already have a grass ordinance.
So this is, and we're not asking for a vote, I said that earlier. This is the first time you guys seen it, we need to review it. And if we, and then we can come back next month, and then if we wanna go forward, you wanna explain the process?
Oh, yeah, so if the board feels that this is something worthy to move forward, you would, take some time to review the proposed law. If you have any recommendations for revisions, we deal with those in real time. And then when you're happy and you feel like the draft is in a good place, you would want to schedule a public hearing so that the public has an opportunity to comment on the law. And then not until after a public hearing, you could take action to approve or consider adoption. But you would have to have a public hearing before you could do anything.
How did this spring up? How did we get, do we have complaints? Do we have?
Well, I can't answer that honestly. Kevin McMahon brought it to me and said it's becoming an issue all over the place. We had no law, so he asked us to consider.
Are we, I know we got the exemptions from ag and state and county and everything. Are we more concerned with our residentials, the cluster residentials, or is it
I think that's where you're gonna have the problem, yeah.
gonna go town-wide? Because I don't know if somebody's house in between two pieces of farmland, and if they got overgrowth.
We can't do anything with farmland, you're absolutely right.
But if you had a residential in that house, then I don't know.
That's what Kevin was getting at, yeah, for the residential and the agricultural districts. I mean, you see some fee numbers and stuff back there, that is just something, Kevin gave me one that was about 5 pages long, so I put this together, and I just used some fees that other towns are using, and none of this is cast in stone by any means. I just wanted to get something in front of us to review and to take a look at. And if we're not interested in it, that's fine too, but you've got, I would say, take it, it's the first time you've seen it, read it over for the month, we can discuss it next month, and if we don't wanna do it, we table it, and if we wanna do it, we finalize it. Does that sound fair? Everybody good with that?
Is there state law on
There is.
this?
Yeah, the New York State property maintenance law does have a provision that requires growth to be cut to 10 inches, I believe, is what they prescribe. So we got to this point just because Kevin was looking for something at the local level to enforce. Makes it a little bit easier.
Can we not enforce a state level?
He can. Most communities do have some form of property maintenance requirements, though. But yeah, he could cite a violation of the property maintenance code.
But no complaints as of yet.
I'm not aware, I don't.
Not that I'm aware of either, but I could ask Kevin to come next month.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Okay. So either Kevin or Adam, it depends on, Kevin's had some.
I did mention it to Kevin, but he said he was unable to come tonight.
Right.
I wouldn't, you can ask him, but he wouldn't need to be here.
Okay.
I would just, not for me anyways,
Well, I'll ask him the questions that was asked. Are we having any complaints as you see it? All right, very good. So number 17, generator service contracts. So we need to enter into a service contract for our new generator out there. And what this is, twice a year, they will come down in the fall, service it, change the oil filters, check it, check the performance with their gauges to make sure it meets all the parameters. We're gonna put and I already authorized that, for $560, we gotta put an oil heater on it to keep the motor oil heated. Reason we need to do that, that was $560, I approved that so they could get it in. you take a generator, by law, our generator is supposed to be started within 10 to 12 seconds maximum if the power goes down. That generator has to be up and running. So when that generator starts, it's running full throttle. It doesn't have a minute to sit there and idle and warm up. It has to be running full throttle. So that's why it was necessary to put an oil heater on it, so that oil was up to temperature. The generator does start every week on Saturday at 12:30. I had them set it up. So if you're driving by here and the generator's running, it's doing a self-check. But this company they're the ones that installed it, they're the one that's maintaining it, and so for $1,367.50, we get two, one in the spring and one in the fall. They'll come down, test it, change the oils, check the parameters, make sure everything is working, and then also they'll be on call if we have a problem. Right now, this generator keyboard is set up in the police department, so they're the ones that are monitoring it, and they'll be alerted first, and then I get notified if there is a major problem with it. Thoughts, questions, motion? So I want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the Stark Tech service contract for a biannual generator service for the price of $1,367.50.
Second.
Any other discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So this is one of the, the generator, I know there was some comments made out there that, it's getting to be an expensive thing, but this building was set up as a command center for the police department here, state police, and also the sheriffs. If there's a major catastrophe, this building was designated as a command center. It's also a heating and cooling area for local residents if there is a catastrophe in a town or village. Hopefully that never will happen. And that's why it was so important to have a generator here. And I hope we never have to find out, but if sub-zero and people need a place to go, we're set up to handle it now. Moving on, so number 18, and New York Association of Towns Bill of Rights. So you all have that in your packet. They're asking us if we would sign on with them. We pay dues to that, and that's in letters in there. We paid $1,025 annually for dues. We do get our money's worth from them. Because if I have a question or any of you guys have a question, we can call them. And they have lawyers on staff to answer certain things. Dan can call them, or to help out because that's where their expertise is. Part of our training for our planning board and ZBA board comes through the Planning Association of Towns and the Planning Association. So there's the Bill of Rights that they're asking us to endorse, and they're going after the New York State government to get this mandated.
So they work towards this home rule. How are they doing with the solar, all of that kind of stuff? Are they fighting that for home rule?
I believe they are, yes. Protect our lands and gutter development, yep. Because right now in the big solar projects, there is no home rule. It's whatever the state dictates. So if you guys are good with us signing on, endorsing this, we need a motion. And if you're not, we won't.
I'm good with it.
Okay, you wanna make a
I'm trying to
motion?
make a motion for the town of Homer to sign on to the NYAOP Bill of Rights.
Could you just modify that and authorize the supervisor to
To
sign?
authorize the supervisor to sign.
Second, any other discussion?
Quick
Yes, Doug.
question, they're trying to pair up a second resolution for a voting delegate. Page, in this letter right here, I'm reading. The connection between these two resolutions is intentional. I'm just a little confused, do we need to have a voting delegate to go to the meeting on September 23rd? To do this, or?
No, we don't have to. Every year when I do the supervisor's appointments, that is always on there. Nobody's ever volunteered to be part of this committee. If somebody would like to be part of it, we can appoint them to do that. But they operate without it. I mean, I don't think we've ever had anybody volunteer to go to this.
I know we've never gone to the annual 3-day thing, but I just caught my eye, it's a little different, I don't know if we need to.
Well, they're encouraging our town to designate a voting delegate. I mean, the more people that we've had there, it'd probably be better.
You go, yeah, thanks so much, Chris, yeah.
Any other discussion on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Seasonal road. So we've been working on that for a little while. And you have a draft in front of you. Our committee talked about it. Dan put this together. Mr. Jones, Larry, is wrote up one that was more intense, a little bit different. And again, I'm not asking anybody to vote on it because it's the first time a lot of you have seen that, but we need to look at it and come back next month ready to vote on it and again explain the process.
Yeah, so it'd be the same as the previous law we discussed. If you do get this draft into a spot where you're willing to consider moving it forward and take action on it, you would have to schedule a public hearing for a future date before you could do that.
Okay. So what we're looking at here, we want people to build in Homer. We don't mind them building on our seasonal roads. But we had to set a parameter up, and Larry had written one where we set up an escrow account. I'll be honest, I was opposed to that. We're not saying we won't do it, but I want the freedom over 2 to 4 years so we can build this into our budget and keep improving a road over a couple of years and not be forced to put money aside because money with sales tax, losing sales tax and everything else going on, I just don't want to be forced to have to appropriate money to a fund that we may not be able to afford at a certain time. But with that being said, we're committed to improving our roads if somebody does build a house there. Now, Dan, you also said on the building permit part of it, that's already a law.
Yeah, that's town law, was it 280? Yeah, 280A. Already prohibits building permits issued on roads that aren't, what's the term that they use? Suitably improved. So the idea is that this law gives property owners or residents a mechanism to appeal to the town board for improvement of any of those roads that aren't already suitably improved.
So again, I think our intent is we want to be accommodating as we can, but we just can't, from day one, everybody expect a blacktop road. We just can't afford to do that.
So my
Yes.
concern can pretty well be encapsulated on the section 1, which says that the town board will make this at its legislative discretion. I've got serious concerns about capricious decisions, and not necessarily by this board. But I was reminded last Monday was the 26th year anniversary of the first cow being milked at the DDI parlor. And at
26 years.
Yeah, at that point, there was Bill Wright and Fran Armstrong, and only Mr. Ferris can remember all this. And none of us would have ever thought where we would be 25 years later. And I envision here in 25 years, there's a whole series of Gen Zers sitting around this table, which should scare the shit out of you. But to have a law in the books that says, hey, we have discretion to maybe look at these things, maybe not look at these things, take an appeal, not, I mean, this document is written that allows significant capricious decisions, and I would oppose that. What I had proposed, I thought, was an elegant scenario of, now it's a procedural situation where you know what, as a developer, as a contractor, you know what you've got to go through to make it happen and whether it's going to be realistic or not. Under this kind of a scenario, you're saying, I'm going to try to sell a piece of land, but then they're going to have to go and look at the board, say, the board, you know, maybe you don't like me, maybe you don't like the color of my hair, maybe you don't like my great-grandmother, and we're just going to turn it down. I have a real problem with putting capricious intent laws on the books. And I apologize, Dan. I would hope everybody's seen the document that I had prepared, and Mike, I would actually make a request that we get that on the webpage so it could be viewed by a more general public than what's been distributed, I think, thus far. That encapsulates my sense.
So Dan, is he right in his interpretation of that?
So, I mean, any decision that a town board makes is subject to a challenge for being arbitrary and capricious. But the intent here is that there are all these criteria that the town board would consider.
May consider.
Correct. So, but I guess my point is that the alternative, which you're proposing, takes all discretion away from the town, if I understand it correctly. Because it creates an escrow account, and then if the money is there, the way I read it is that the road would be improved essentially as of right.
Yeah, and the board would have discretion over how much money is in that escrow.
Sure.
That's the discretion that the board keeps at that point.
Right. Okay.
And we've also identified that the liability to the town is pretty minimal because none of these roads, except for 2, have less than a mile of undeveloped road. So this all is probably a non-issue in terms of a large liability. And I think it's more, I would hate to see this law go on the books and 20 years later have a
You're not gonna worry about it, Larry, in 20 years? Come on.
what did they say 25 years ago?
I was on the board 25 years ago. I left in the end of 1999. So.
But that's the point. We can't, with Micron coming, there's a tsunami of other things coming. Who would have thought we'd had this many houses built in the last 3 years where we had them built? And you just got to be prepared for that.
So what I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna put it back to our committee, which was Caleb and Sarah. And
I'd like to meet with them.
And get with, I was gonna suggest that, get with them and get Dan involved, come up with a mutual time and look it over and see if there's any common ground or not. I mean, we have time. Don't wanna ram this through. I wanna make sure we do it right. So, is everybody agreeable with that?
Are you against any capitalization or capital accounts being created? And you said you were against it.
Well, an escrow account, I mean, I took it the escrow account was gonna force us to put a certain percentage of our budget into it every year.
No.
No, I would never agree to that, but
That was what I was saying.
what we did back when I got on the board in 2005, 20-some years ago, too, we had an equipment account. And
Which we still have.
$25,000 in, and as a bill. Would you be opposed to creating a road improvement account?
No, I would not be opposed to that.
Little bites that.
As long as we have the discretion of what we put into it.
So I'm looking at our roads, I see Maxon, Session, and those are the biggest ones, 4 miles, and I see everything else, it's like 0.2, 0.3, 0.2. Somebody said somewhere, Niagara Mohawk moves at 0.6 miles or something, when they run electricity or whatever. So am I right in understanding between the dialogue tonight that these things will happen in smaller hits, okay, at 0.6 or whatever, as somebody else buys and develops? I'm asking the question because I don't know. Sarah, do you know how that works?
as far as I know, they'll go as far as you'll pay them for.
Yeah, okay.
So you can, if you wanna go a mile down the road and you're willing to cut the check to National Grid, they will go a mile down the road.
So.
I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is more a matter of, are these the areas where people are wanting to build, just making sure that the road supervisor is okay with being able to
Produce that.
produce a road that they can safely maintain and
Right.
deal with on a year-round basis. I think that's the bigger issue. It's not the
And
electric
then the
part
town
of it.
would have a standard of development 1, development 2.
Right.
Or this year you're gonna get dirt, and the next year you're gonna get gravel, the next year you're gonna get milling, the next year you'll get maybe asphalt.
Exactly what we were looking at, so that way, if you wanna build a house that's 2 miles down, that don't expect a blacktop road year one. We will do what we can to accommodate it as our budget allows, and then next year we'll do more and get it up to the standard it needs to be. But we have a limited budget.
I guess it would lend itself to, would we pick winners and losers based on the roads, or how does that work? That would be just another question that I have.
I would think whoever applies for a building permit, and that's the road you'd concentrate on.
But see, with this, you couldn't apply for the building permit until it was approved.
Well, I don't know if every road is not improved to the point that you couldn't build on it. There would be certain standards, right? I mean, like Matt Newman's daughter, who is it?
Megan Hayden.
You know, so they built there, and that road needed some improvement, but it wasn't so bad, and their mile, what was they're down a mile, is it?
They're a mile, they're like a half.
A half a mile since when we stopped. So they know we're gonna keep improving it every year, make it a little better, and that's where I was going with this. So every year we could keep doing more and more, because we got 60 miles of road to maintain, so that's 120 lane miles. And I've only got a $500,000 budget to do all this every year. So that's what we were looking at.
Who makes the determination if the road is suitably improved? Who makes that call?
That's up to the highway superintendent, that's his authority, yeah.
Yeah, Sher's house was a dirt road at one time up there where you're living. I mean, now it's paved. I mean, how long did that take? Make that, and now there's 6 houses up that far now. I mean, it's moving up there. I mean, eventually it's gonna be the whole hill.
Right, and that's what I'm saying, eventually it'll get better and better.
Yeah, but I don't think they didn't pay that since we moved in. They built the house 26 years
No,
ago.
I know, but I
so
mean,
it was
20 years ago.
probably 20 years after the first person
No,
moved up there
exactly.
before it actually got paved, because it was a dirt road when we moved up there.
No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it took a long time to get it paved. I mean, but it is paved now. I mean,
Well, where I live, I've lived there 50 years now, it was a goat path for the first 49.
still a go path,
I come home one day, and that was when Mr. Phelps was there, they actually graded the road and put some material on it.
I'm just saying, I mean, it's slowly moving.
It's slowly,
I mean,
right.
I mean,
We were able,
There's parts of Maxon Road, like if you keep going though, like they're not nearly wide enough. It's just single lane, like if somebody just wanted to go out and pop a house on it,
sure.
there'd be a ton of work the town would have to do, because they have to have a safe, legal, two-way traffic,
understand
pull-offs,
that.
all the
Right.
things, so like,
Yeah.
it's just a matter, we just wanna make sure that they can budget
I
it
mean,
and
they
do
could,
it
I mean, some of the
carefully.
maintenance could be widening the road future-wise, I mean, now with a grader and cutting back some of the brush that is
It's definitely better than it
overgrown.
used to be, for sure,
Right, yeah.
So Sarah, those are steps we can define, okay, and how the improvement happens, like you just said, widening the road for the first year. Is that a reasonable and safe?
Yeah, I'm assuming so. I also don't really know like how much space, you have to ask the
Right,
roads,
yeah,
I don't know how much space that they have for, as far as what the town owns, if they can, you know what I mean? Like, I don't,
And then the culverts and then the everything, that's all part of it.
yeah, they're literally dirt road, they're single lane dirt roads, so.
right, and they gotta be improved to the point, if I remember right, a fire truck, emergency vehicle has got to be able to get by another vehicle.
And the town's gotta be able to plow it,
Yeah.
that's the other problem.
You have to be able to maintain year-round access for
Yes.
emergency.
And I'm very happy the town plows Maxon Road, but I'm gonna tell you, they have to be careful and they have to use different equipment, because the big equipment can't get up the hill, and there's times where we can't go down the hill, like we have to go a different way, or we take a snowmobile to get to work, because it's a difficult road to maintain.
Right.
It is what it is, we chose to live there, so we don't complain,
No,
but
right.
Mike, I just suggest you go back and reread that document that I sent you, because it addressed a lot of these issues.
Okay.
That way somebody knew ahead of time, yes, there's a pile of money here, this amount, but I know I could get something done, or there's not. And so that's just a yes/no decision that has no arbitrary capricious nature to it.
Yeah, I'll reread it.
So what is the risk to the town if you do nothing? Because I wasn't clear that there's already a law on the books that says you can't get a building permit if the road is seasonal, right? So I'm just trying to understand, what does this law do that's different? If somebody came here, wanted to build on Burger King Road, you guys authorized it first, and then they got the permit.
Right, so technically you could get a building permit issued on a seasonal road if that road has been suitably improved. And the state law actually says to the satisfaction of the town board. So the discretion is with the town as to whether or not that road has been suitably improved. This basically just lays out a simple process for someone to ask for that improvement if it is needed. Yeah.
I mean, this town has always been as accommodating as they possibly can if somebody wants to build. I'm just trying to make sure we don't get bankrupted in a year or 1 or 2 years, because we do have just a pot of money that we have to make it go. But at the same time, if somebody wants to build, we want to accommodate them. We need growth, we want growth. It's got to be controlled and where we can afford it.
You're trying to, so the law is to formalize the process.
What's that?
The law is essentially to formalize the process of how to find to get a road.
That's what I would say. So again, we'll schedule a meeting, Sarah and Caleb, and anybody else that wants to join. I mean, if we're gonna have more board members, we'll just make it an open meeting and we'll advertise it. And so anybody else, if they want to be part of it, if more board members, I mean, if Kevin or Brandon want to be part of it, we can do it that way, because I can't have more than 2 board members. If 3 get together, and then we'll be advertised as an open meeting. And anybody from the public is welcome to come and participate with, this is our town, I mean, it's the people's town, so we're just trying to do it. Is that agreeable to everybody?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I would come.
Okay, so we'll plan it, I'll let you guys tell me when you wanna do it, and we'll advertise it as an open meeting, and we'll have a format just like this here, and we'll do it, okay? Good open discussion, and we'll get more information. I don't care if this takes another 4 months to finalize, I wanna make sure what we do is done correctly. Okay, so I'm gonna make a note of that, you guys come up with some dates you wanna do it, and we'll make it happen, okay? So next up is our HVAC roof plan. So if you look out the windows here, we got all these new HVAC condenser units. It's for your split heat and cooling. And we do have to get a roof over them. That's still part of the major renovation project. That's almost the last part of it. So the money is there to do it, but it wasn't part of the building contract because nobody knew what it was gonna look like and stuff to it was done. So what I did is I designed a concept. I put it out to bid as of today. We can't vote on it because I've only got 1 bid back from Complete Construction Concepts. I'm waiting for a couple of more, so I may want to call a special meeting. We have to get this done before this roof hits these compressors. They're quite expensive and it will destroy them. So if you look at your last page 3, so what I had envisioned, that would be like a pole barn style, wood post, spaced out so it would come down the side and cross the end here. So this end here has to be 5 foot wide and the rest of it is 4 foot. So it's 4 foot this way, 5 foot to cover these existing ones. And then you'll see on the end here, right here, there's more rail. So we need also a fence or a guardrail. So we incorporated everything into one. So envision a 6x6 down through here. So that'll be the bumper so somebody doesn't drive into it. So that way we don't have to have a separate fence. We'll incorporate it all into one unit. These I envisioned would be set up on an angle iron so they can be bolted in. So if we ever have to remove a compressor, they gotta get in there, that would be removable. Not nailed in, but set up so it would be removable. I was envisioning a standing seam roof or a metal roof. Talking with CCC, Ted and stuff, they're thinking we'd be better off on an asphalt roof for the simple reason if the snow does come off a steel roof, even though it's reinforced, after a few years, it's hard to match the panel color if some panels got damaged. If we go to an asphalt roof, he said you can always match those roofs, so. And that was a good, what's that?
Shingles?
Yeah, shingle as an asphalt roof. So that's what they gave us a price on, so that was just putting out there, so. Your guys' thoughts, comments on that? I mean, we can still change the design, but we tried to do something that would blend. Martin Sweeney, I ran it by him, he was happy, I think I showed Pat this, and it, you know, we have a historic building here, trying to keep something that would blend into it. It's very difficult to get it perfect, but this way we don't have to have two fences or anything, everything is incorporated in one. And where this is, it just finishes it out to where the blacktop is, and then from where the blacktop ends, in other words, where the parking is. So nobody can run into the building. And then our flower committee, and Pat mentioned it too, they'd like to dress up the building on that end with flowers or some plants, so we can entertain that. What's that?
I didn't really, are they the flowers?
She's
She
on,
is.
she's on the village.
Mike, the correct terminology is beautification committee.
I'm sorry, beautification.
Should be like aesthetics.
So are you guys look all right to everybody?
We already have one bid.
I've got one bid, I don't wanna reveal the number because it's not fair. I'm waiting for, I'd like to get 2 more bids come in. As soon as I have them, I would like to call a special meeting so we can get that approved, so we're gonna run out of time here, okay? But they just got a blacktop and they just got it ready where we could move forward. Everybody good with that scenario?
Special meeting's fine with me.
Okay. So I will notify everybody when we need a special meeting, and maybe you can pick Gail on a meeting when if we get this road committee going, seasonal road. Comprehensive plan update. So we got some more information. We're not ready to move forward on it, but Dan, would you explain the process that we're in right now?
Yeah,
I'm
so-
losing my voice. I'm
Yep,
sorry.
so we did finally get a proposed contract from the Department of State for the comprehensive plan grant. I've gone through it, it is their standard Department of State contract that they use for the planning programs. I need to get a better understanding. There are some attachments that they want submitted with the contract. One of them being a template status report. So I need to wrap my head around that a little bit. But otherwise, the contract is the very standard DOS contract for these grants. So I don't have any issue with it.
So my understanding is still, when the representative met with us, we cannot form a committee yet, we can't go out for a consultant yet until this grant is finalized, because if we spend a nickel or do anything, then we don't get reimbursed for that. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, you don't want to spend any or commit any funds prior to having a grant agreement in place. That would be an issue.
Right, Pat's shaking his head, he just went through that, is that right, Pat?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Get that grant agreement in place.
Okay, so that's where we are. I'm just trying to update you where we are on that. So it is moving forward, it's moving forward very slowly. I never dreamed it would take almost 2 years to get this finalized, but it is a state, so. The ZBA lawsuit, Dan, you want to just update on what's going on with that one?
Essentially, we're just waiting on a decision from the court at this point. Parties have submitted all their papers and responsive papers, so we are awaiting a decision.
So then that's where that is. So it's in the court's hands, and whatever the decision is what we abide by.
Has everybody gotten a copy of the lawsuit? Because I got the memorandum of law, but I never got a copy of the lawsuit. Do we have that available?
Yep.
Okay, can
We'll forward it to you.
we get it to
Yeah.
the board?
Absolutely.
Do all the board want it?
Yeah.
Okay. Creech Road truck traffic. Does everybody know where Creech Road is? I know Sarah's very familiar with it. What's that?
Yes, I do.
It's up on top of 90. So I've had 2 complaints, but from the same family. I'm not able, you wanna read it, or one of the board members read it? This is what the complaints, and this is what brought this up to us.
You want me to read the email?
Would you please?
Sure, yeah. Dear Mike Park, I'm writing to express my concern regarding safety along Route 90 corridor, specifically at the intersection of Creech Road and Route 90. Because Creech Road connects to Route 90 just below the West Hill Cemetery Hill, the sight distance is extremely limited. This lack of visibility raises significant safety concerns, particularly regarding how tractor trailers can safely enter Route 90 from this intersection. Additionally, many tractor trailers traveling west from Route 90 use Creech Road to go down the S-curve in Cayuga County. This is highly unsafe as there is not enough room for large trucks on the S-curve. Passenger vehicles are forced to hug the center line, and it is only a matter of time before a head-on collision occurs. Creech Road used to be designated as a no-truck route, and it is unclear why those signs were removed. Please review the safety conditions on Creech Road before a serious accident occurs. Thank you for your time and consideration. Signed, Nancy McMahon.
You don't have to read the other ones the same.
Okay, and then a similar letter from Mason McMahon.
I can't find any evidence, although it was before I remember if Creech Road was truck traffic only. Why the signs were taken down, if it was, I have no idea. I don't even know how to research the records to go back and see if it was designated by the town board. That could be 50 years, 40 years, I just don't know. So there is a process, and you have that in front of you on how we do that, if we want to do it. With the understanding, and I did call Nancy McMahon and talk to her, that she has to understand if a farm wants to use it, we cannot prevent that. Local deliveries, we can't prevent that. So will it stop 100% of the truck traffic? Absolutely not. We've had this discussion before. Kevin brought up some good points on some of our other roads with truck traffic. So you have the resolution in front of you. I want to bring this back next month and be prepared to discuss it. If you want to go up and look at the road and talk to people, we have to designate where it's going to start and where it's going to end. The town of Homer ends before it gets to the end of Creech Road. I don't know the exact address, but we will get that.
There's a snowplow turnaround up there. It's about a little less than a half a mile long.
Okay.
The rest of Creech is in summer.
Okay.
Is it before the S-curves or after?
If you go and make that hairpin turn
Yep.
and go down, okay, go past the natural gas or whatever the pipeline is, it's up there a little bit. So the sign for Summer Hill starts just a little bit past that. So I know why it's coming here, because we had the big accident on 90, okay, so we know where, I get that, okay. I was up to 7155 Creech today talking with everybody, and I don't know that we see the problem as what big truck traffic is. I don't know what big truck traffic is. Is that just DSSC carrying stuff, or is that like tractor trailers, or is it all trucks? So I don't know. We gotta spend some time on it, okay?
Absolutely.
Everybody's freaking out over that pass with that accident, understood. So, but Summerhill has most of it. So how do you stop them from coming this way?
There's people going on from 90 onto Creech Road, is that correct? That's the issue?
I really don't know. When I did talk to Nancy, I said, who's really going down this road? She said she's seeing common carriers using this as a cutover, but I can't imagine that's not a shortcut to any place.
Where?
Right. So I don't get it.
Caleb was asking if it was the garbage trucks, because there's big, really, really big garbage trucks too. I don't.
Yeah.
You think they're using that as a bypass?
They're bypassing everything, just get through the city.
Okay.
I mean, they're going every different direction right now.
Of transfer traffic.
I think going over 90 and going to Creech Road is not a dangerous operation, but coming up Creech Road and going on to 90, that's an uphill pull for a tractor trailer.
Yeah.
Limited sight coming over the hill,
Yeah,
limited
why
sight
they
coming
would
up.
do that.
What's that?
I don't know why they would purposely do that. But you do know that the accident on Route 90 was because of a mower truck and no shoulder, right? It wasn't the tractor trailer's fault.
No, I agree. They're just, I just think the whole thing shook everybody, and because of the way that the whole thing happened. I'm not saying the truck was the responsible part. It was just there in a big truck, Okay.
Yeah, they were mowing the side. I saw somebody, a friend of mine saw it, and the state was mowing the side, and because there's no place to pull over, the first tractor trailer saw it, and couldn't get around it, and a car was coming, so he stopped, but because there's like no visual over the bumps, the second tractor trailer couldn't stop fast enough when he came over the hill, and the first tractor trailer was stopped in his road.
So
Which he shouldn't have, what are you supposed to do?
that's an additional detail that I wasn't aware of.
Yeah, just,
but
just, I
I
just wanna make
still
sure you know,
think-
like, it wasn't like tractor trailers screwed it up.
No, I don't think that was the case. I just think
It's
that
a terrible, unsafe road.
that was, they hit close to everybody.
Yeah.
So that's why everybody's.
She addressed this to Summerhill as well, because it's really, we're a very small percentage of this issue.
Summerhill needs to look at it also, but that's their prerogative. I mean, we can't demand that they look at it. So we need, like Kevin said, we need to do our due diligence, look at it. We'll have it back on for discussion next month.
And that's where the cameras go in there after it goes.
I was
No,
gonna say, does that camera do anything on behalf of that? Our little
Oh, I thought it was.
speed thing?
It's going on Creel Road, not Creech
All
Road.
these,
Creel Road is down here.
one very similar.
Nobody's been complaining of speeding. This won't,
It won't tell you who went by.
it keeps, supposedly, it keeps account of the vehicles and the speed and the time.
Okay.
But it doesn't tell us the tractor
It can't
trailer
tell
or
if it's tractor
not.
trailer or if it's car. Okay.
So again, I think, Kevin, you said you went up there and visited some of the neighbors?
I did, but again, just because of that, we need to spend some time on it.
Absolutely.
Okay, I just think there's gotta be something that we can look at and find out what exactly is the issue.
So we'll bring it back next month, and if we're not ready, again, when we do these laws, we gotta be very deliberate and make sure we can create all kinds of law, but if there's no sense in it, if it doesn't do anything.
Our sheriff goes up that far, correct?
Yes. Okay, so that'll be tabled to next month. Roundabout.
Mike, I found the email.
Okay.
Brandon, as discussed, we are no longer pursuing the roundabout alternative for this project. We further evaluated the impacts to right-of-way, local businesses, driveway access, utilities, and project cost for each alternative as part of the preliminary design process. We presented this information to our regional group directors and regional director, and ultimately the group decided left turn lane additions made the most sense for these intersections, given the constraints. The roundabout alternative does have a greater safety and operational benefit. However, we recognize that the roundabout footprints would be too impactful to nearby businesses, requiring significant property acquisitions. We will be moving forward with the left turn lane additions on Route 281, at Route 90 and Route 41, and new traffic signals as our preferred alternative. Planning a public meeting in October to share this information with the public, but they said I can share this as well.
Thank you, Pat. So any, I think we've talked about roundabouts enough, but if anybody else wants to, but Pat stole all my thunder tonight, I'll tell you. Thank you. Insurance renewal, it's that time of year again. It's in our comprehensive plan that every 3 years that we have to do a competitive bid with more than one company. We're on year 2. So this is Bailey's been doing our insurance, so they gave us an update. If anybody wants to see the whole policy, it's like 62 pages long. I can get it to you if you'd like to see it. But our insurance is gonna go up approximately 8%. It was 41,000 last year. It's going to 46,193. Some of that is just due to the natural increase in cost of insurance going up, but this building is now worth a little more money, so we bumped the coverage up on this building. We bumped the coverage up on the highway department last year as that was completed when that one went up to renewal. So we're gonna be looking at a premium cost of $46,193.78. And that's gonna need to be renewed in 5 days.
How much was last year?
I believe it was 41.
41.
It was about a 7.67% increase.
With additional coverage.
With the additional coverage, yes. This building went up, we had to increase the coverage, because if you're not at a certain point and you have the damage, then you really take a beating on it. So I wanna make sure we're covered. Like you said, we put $1.3 million down here, so we wanna make sure we're covered. So I need a motion on that.
Where's the check going to?
Well, it'll be rolled out to Bailey.
Motion to authorize payment for the annual insurance, liability insurance in the amount of $46,193.78 payable to Bailey Insurance.
And I'll need to sign the documents.
An authorization for the supervisor to sign the documents. What's the name of the documents? I don't know if that, it's the application document, right? In the application document.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll second.
Second it, any other discussion?
We put this out for bid then next year.
Next year we'll. And to be honest with you, Bailey puts it out to more than one, company within their parameters, so they always try to come back with the best rate. They do insure quite a few, villages and towns. I think the village is with Bailey also.
Yes.
Yeah, so, and we do share some equipment with some of the other towns, because even with the village, we share a couple of pieces of equipment, Truxton we share. I had some questions on that when we were going over it, and, Jeremy Boylan is our representative, and he said, well, we cover them too, so I can check on that for you. So, who was covering what piece of equipment, because when it goes on the road, we just wanna make sure it's covered. So, we have a motion, we have a second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. So we have the perma contract. You have all that in front of you. It's Employer Risk Management Association. And basically what this is, it's a third party. So if we have a major lawsuit or somebody has a workers' comp claim, it's this third party that helps manage it. It's with, if we were with a private workers' comp, they take care of it personally, but we're in with the consortium. So it gives you a price. We do this every year, but I need to sign the documents. So I need your approval from the board to move forward with this and sign it. They call it tail claim, so that is, we have no, if you remember right, we were part of the counties, and when we moved out of the county, we had no tail. So in other words, they can't come back 2 years, 10 years later and say you now owe the county $10,000 or $1 million. When we left the county, we left it zeroed out, so there's no tail for the town of Homer. Other municipalities have some big tails, but we looked at that very hard, and Kevin is our representative for that.
Did good at that.
Yeah. So I need a motion so I can sign these documents.
Make a motion to authorize Supervisor Parks to sign the PERMA documentation.
Second, any discussion? Those in favor, say aye. Opposed? Carried. So all we have is 2 updates on Seaboard, and I think we gave you, did we get some information out on that? What's that? That must be buried. Okay, I got it right in front of me. So the Seaboard, we have, this is from Russ, from the county, Russell Smith and Adam Brown, the code officer for the town, and also from the county,
Soil and water?
Soil and water, there we go. So they're helping us oversee this and make sure they're doing the inspections and stuff. And we do have a financial agreement with the county that we pay them when they do this. That comes out of our escrow account. So this is their first report. They got pictures and everything. So that's where we're at there. We had a little hiccup last Friday. some landowners right beside where they were cutting trees thought they were cutting on them. They called me, called everybody in the world. Of course, Kevin was out of town, Adam was out of town, Dan was out of town, so I finally got a hold of the soil and water. They went up, and I talked to, Russ was out of town, so Amanda Barber went up, and we talked. And I told, man, I'll go up with you, but worst case scenario, we could put a stop work order on. She went up and talked to them. They were very cooperative, so they stopped cutting till this could get sorted out. Adam Brown did call me back. He went up. So apparently I heard nothing of it since Friday, so apparently they got it sorted. When you come to property lines, it was surveyed, I believe, right? It had to be surveyed. And Dan, what did the surveyor, or the cutter, you were part of that discussion?
Oh, yeah, so I talked to Adam Brown Friday, after he went on. Actually, I talked to him while he was up there. He said it looked like they were cutting where their site plan indicated that they would be clearing trees, which is right up to the property line. He said it was not clear that they were over the property line, so he didn't feel comfortable or didn't feel that it was appropriate to issue a stop work order. They did stop, and their intention was to meet with the property owner this week to settle everything out, and we have not heard anything since Friday, so the assumption right now is that they have dealt with that issue. There were some emotions Friday, so I feel like we would have heard back by now if there were any continuing issues.
There was a lot of motions Friday. But all good. The ASC, not ASC, Seaboard Solar, I've got to say, anything that we've asked, they've been very, very cooperative. So I believe they were very cooperative with it. And once it got it resolved, because like Dan said, we haven't heard, so usually no news is good news. So
if there is a property line discrepancy and a surveyor or somebody has to come out to prove lines discrepancies, is that on the solar company to pay those?
Well, I mean, no, I mean, if it were very clear to the town that they were cutting on the wrong property, the town could issue a stop work order because at that point they're in violation of their site plan review or site plan approval. But beyond that, it's a private property dispute. So it would be up to the property owners to kind of figure that out.
we have a limited authority what we can do on private land like that, so that the land is owned by somebody else, both lands are, the only thing that we can manage is, are they doing the construction properly, so. AES, that's the big one, they're still moving forward, we're still working out the final road agreements and work hours and stuff, so they're gonna wanna be getting started here right along. Do you have anything else to add to that, Dan?
No, I guess they did remove from their proposal, they initially proposed that they were gonna use livestock, I forget what they would normally use, goats, sheep. Because goats would climb on the solar panels, so that would not be good, right? So, yeah, so they removed the sheep from the proposal.
Goats are too fat, they can't jump.
Yeah. You can tell I'm a farmer, right? So they did remove that from their proposal. And we've been going back and forth with them. I think we discussed it at the last board meeting, the hours of construction. They really want to be able to to build 7 days a week. And both the Homer representatives, Cortlandville representatives, and Solon representatives have kind of pushed back on that a bit to give residents neighboring construction a break on Sundays. So we're kind of back and forth with that still.
They came, I get an email from them, I'm sorry to interrupt
So
somebody.
where's that project now?
You see it's up by the landfill, going up that direction, it encompasses Homer, Cortlandville, and Solon. Get an email from them this Thursday night. So the work hours and ran by you guys, so they can work Monday through Friday, 7 to 7. They want to work Saturdays, include that 7 to 7. And then they had Sunday, 8 to 2. We said no work on Sunday. Cortlandville agrees with that and Solon agrees with that. So I answered back this morning to all the other supervisors that I'm still opposed to Sunday work up there because there are some people that live up there they gotta have at least one day so they can enjoy their property if they're having, you know, they don't wanna hear pounding and dozers running on a Sunday. It's not like a farm, if somebody's chopping up there or mowing, I mean, it's like a 45-minute process. They're in and out so quick today, but this is going on all day long. So I answered them back, I'm still opposed to Sunday operations. Supervisor Leach agreed with that, I talked to him this morning, I have not had an opportunity to talk to Solon, but they all can weigh into our lawyer, and
In the end though, we still have no, they could do 7 to 7 if they wanted to. We still don't have a say on those work times.
we do have a say on that work time because we don't have to issue a permit. So they're negotiating for that permit. That's one of the few areas that we do have a say, but we do have to look out after our residents, and if you guys are still good with that, that's what I'm pushing for. I don't think they should be doing it on Sunday. So that's the updates on there. Dan, do you have anything?
I think we covered all of my issues.
I left the executive session on there in case we ever need it. I don't have a reason. Does the board have a reason they want to go into executive session? So then I need a motion to adjourn. Is there anything else? Does the board want to bring up anything? I'm sorry. Okay.
I just have one question. Is
Yes.
one license is in?
Absolutely. You're too late. All the dope permits are gone.
That's okay. I don't need a license for them.
Okay. Remember, you're on tape.
But we do have the stickers.
I got landowners guaranteed.
All right. Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you.